Are you intending to start a backyard fish farm? Because this is a dream for most beginners. And I personally recommend that even if you want to have a big commercial farm one day, starting small at your backyard, learn, grow, and expand is very important because this game is about knowledge, knowing the right thing to do at the right time. And starting small to learn and scale up is the best. So now coming back to that question, if you're intending to start a backyard farm, there are four essential things, only four things that are required. Those four things are a must have to be successful or in order to have your farm set up and run. There are other things when you have them will make the journey more enjoyable, but you can still run your farm without them. But these four things you must have them, and these are the four things I want to discover in this video, and I will tell you the best ones or how to even have it successful. If you are new to this channel, my name is Abdulaziz Isa. All we do in this channel is to share fish farming tips based on our experience and our research. So please, if you are not subscribed to this channel, kindly do subscribe, share, and comment. Let me know your journey in the comment section. Now let's move in details. The first thing you must have to have a successful backyard farm is your fish pond. The fish pond is the house of the fish. The fish pond is what will contain the water where the fish will live in. So having a successful fish farm is the first step to go. And the fish pond also comes in different ones. For instance, you have the concrete pond, you have the tarpaulin pond, you have the plastic pond, you have the glass pond, and we have an earthen pond. These are the common ones. But to have a backyard farm, there are two things that you can have, either tarpaulin pond or concrete pond. I am saying this because others you can keep them but not at your backyard. For instance, earthen pond you can have earthen pond, but you cannot have earthen pond in the backyard. And the reason is that it breeds mosquitoes, even though others breed, but it breeds most. Earthen pond is an open place. Your children can fall in there. Your family members can fall in there. There are a lot of hazards to that. So keeping that at your backyard will not be ideal. And more importantly, it needs a bigger plot or land. That's the reason. And the grass pond are usually kept by ornamentalists. So if you are keeping that in your house for beautification, and most of the time these are kept indoors. That's why I'm saying they're not ideal for backyard and others. Now you can have also plastic ponds, and the plastic ponds can be RCB tanks or whatever plastics. So these are the three things you can have backyard: concrete, tarpaulin, and plastic. Each of them has advantages and disadvantages. The plastics are the most easy and simplest to put up, but they can become very hot easily. And mostly they are small and cannot have many fish. The next one is the tarpaulin pond. The tarpaulin pond is good for backyard, and you can customize it any size that you want to fit any little space that you have at your home to start your farm. And the size of the pond will determine the size or the space or the amount of fish that you want to start with. Yeah, if you're starting with 500 capacity, 1000 capacity, or whatever capacity farm, that will determine the size of the pond. And the shape will determine the space in which you want to put it. But generally, we have rectangular, we have circular ponds. Now the tarpaulin ponds, they are easy to make. They are mobile. Anytime you don't want to continue production, you can fold your things and go away. But the disadvantage is that do any little mistake and it can be perforated or it can collapse and all the water and fish will be gone. And that brings us to another important one, that is the concrete pond. Concrete ponds are made of concrete materials, cement, blocks, or bricks if you want, iron rods, and those stuffs. These are durable things, so when you put them together, the concrete pond is durable, it's thick, and more importantly, fish perform well in concrete ponds than in tarpaulin ponds. And they can also last longer and will not perfect easily. But the disadvantage of this is that you cannot just one day wake up and fold your things and put down. Even though if you also want to dismantle it, you can do that. Another disadvantage is that when you construct new concrete pond and you don't cure it well, the poison or the chemicals of the cement and others kill fish like fire in harmattan season. When you put in fish, it will poison the water and kill them within 3 days or even lesser. All the fish will be gone. And the curing process is also somehow tedious. You need to put water in the pond and soak it with either plantain leaves or stems or banana leaves or stems. And if you don't have any of these, you can use neem. Soak it in the water for at least 2 days. Now, having gotten your fish pond, you are now ready to stock your fish and grow. So the next thing, what is so crucial, is your seed, your fish seed. But say your fish seed, I mean your fingerlings or your juvenile. And as a beginner, I would recommend juvenile because juveniles are stronger and they can resist to most weather conditions. Fingerlings are smaller, fry are smaller, and they still need care and experience. So if you stock them and you don't have much experience, you are likely to lose them. But juvenile, they are at least bigger and strong, even though they are more expensive than the fingerlings. But you can still source juveniles and stock them. And when you are sourcing your juvenile, make sure you get healthy and stronger ones. One may ask, Abdul Aziz, how do you get or how do you determine whether the juvenile are healthy and stronger? To determine that, you have to visit the farm if possible. If you can't, make sure that you see videos of the juveniles. And you have to observe when the farmer gives them feed, how they react to the feed. Are they strong in eating or not? If they are not strong, it could be indication that they are not healthy. Try to touch them to see how they react to your touch. If you are trying to touch them and they run away, it means that they are strong. Otherwise, there could be disease in them. Also, make sure that you get your juvenile from respected and hatches firm that is proven to have healthy fingerlings. If you have gotten your juvenile from firms that have proved that they have had previously produced healthy juvenile, then that's the good way to go. Now, having gotten your juvenile, the fourth one, which is most important, which is crucial, and this is taking about 70% of the total cost in your fish production, that is your fish feed. You need to give your fish feed for them to grow. You need to give them feed for them to survive. And the way you make your feeding and the quality of the feed you give your fish and the quality of water that contains them will determine how fast and bigger your fish can grow. So bear in mind, feed are feed, but not all feed are quality feed. If you give your fish low quality feed, they may consume, they may survive, but don't grow well. In order to have or to determine whether the quality of the feed that you are giving is okay, you need to read the ingredients that are used to produce the fish. And you also need to read the nutritional proportion of the feed. Every commercial feed supposes to have all these labeled. And if you are having juvenile, make sure that, or fingerlings, make sure that the nutrition proportion you have at least 35 to 40%, 45% protein in that. Because when they are smaller, they need more protein to grow. Also make sure that you select the floating pelleted feed. That is also best. And if you also want to have other sorts of feed to complement the commercial feed, it could be plant-based such as azolla, duckweed. It could be insect-based such as earthworm, such as black soldier fly. All these you can complement or you can add it to your commercial feed to give your feed to reduce cost. So make sure that you have good quality feed and you feed your fish very well. Now, if you have these three things, fish pond, fish fingerlings or juvenile, your feed, you are good to go. Now, the last one, which is also crucial, is your source of water. Water determines how well your fish perform. I don't talk about feed, how important it is. But good water quality is more important than the feed. Ask me why. It has proven, and I've experienced it myself, that fish can live in good water more than 2 weeks or even a month without feed, and they will still survive. Yes, but fish cannot live in low quality and dirty water 48 hours and survive. If they are surviving, then the water dirtiness or the water poor quality is still manageable. You can put low quality water in your pond, and within 3 hours, all your fish will die. We have experienced that several times. But you can keep your fish several days without feed, and you'll survive. So make sure that you have good source of water. And if it's a backyard, I will not mention others like source of land and those stuff. It's at your backyard. I will not mention electricity. It's at your backyard. But water, I am mentioning it because even though you have water in your home, but that water might not be ideal for fish. It's healthy for human consumption, all right, but it will not be healthy for fish. For instance, the Metropolitan Assembly water, popularly we say tap water, or the government provide water. This water source is not good for fish. It can kill fish because of the high chlorine content in that. So we don't recommend you use it. If you can have other natural sources, either from dam, river, borehole, that is ideal. But you may ask, Abdul Aziz, what if I have only the tap water? If you have that as your only source, this should not be a hindrance for you to start your fish farm. You can start, but you need to be careful and always treat the water before you send it for the fish. How do you do that? If you are going to put the fish in that water, make sure that the water is exposed. Exposed. I mean, it shouldn't be in a place that is fully covered. It should be exposed, either in a pond or a different container, for at least 24 hours. And by then, the chlorine content will reduce before you add the fish into that. And anytime you are going to change your water, do that. But if you cannot do that all the time, especially if you don't have something that can keep it before introducing it, then if you are changing the water, do what we call partial change. Don't drain the entire water. Don't drain the entire water before topping out or putting fresh water. Drain the water half or more than half and top it up with the Metropolitan Assembly water directly. For now, since there's a water in there and you're introducing it, it will neutralize it. So the effect of the chlorine will not be that much on the fish. But situation where you have to change the entire water, I suggest that you don't add the water directly to the fish. Like I'm saying, we have had a lot of experience where ourselves and clients they change water, and within 3 hours their fish started dying. So avoid that. Now, like I said earlier, apart from these important 4 things, there are other things that can make your farm enjoyable or beautiful, but they are not a must-have. For instance, net. Here I'll talk about harvesting net and predators net. Harvesting nets are nets that you use to harvest your fish. You can harvest your fish without net. People use baskets, especially small farm. They use baskets to harvest, though it's stressful, but you can still go without it. Predators net, it prevents predators or birds or things that consume fish to come and eat your fish. You can set down your farm without it, but if you have it, protection will be fine. And if you don't have it, you can use mosquito net to do to improvise. These are optional. Measure scale. You probably want to measure your feet, which is not compulsory. You can always do responsive feeding method. Do the harvest, you need scale. If you don't have, the customers can provide you, or you can have manual scaling, but you do your harvest. So these are not important, or they are not a must, but they are good if you have them. Now, what is also very crucial, but it's not a must to have that implemented, especially at backyard farm, is the recirculating aquatic system. That system is crucial because it will make you to run your farm without always changing the water. It is crucial because it will not make your farm to be smelly. In fact, if you visit a smelly fish farm, you will never want to be there again. And imagine having such a smelling farm at your backyard or at your home. Look at how uncomfortable it will be for you and your family members. And to have that solved, the circular aquatic system will come to the picture. The circular aquatic system is a combination of filtration and aeration system where you install it in your pond that will take care of the waste and add oxygen, and you are good to go. We provide this service, you can contact us, we'll give it for you for, at a charge, of course. And if you want to do it yourself, we have a DIY, that is do it yourself. We have a course in the description. Check it out, enroll in that course, learn it yourself, and you can implement it wherever you are good to go. Just buy your materials and you are good to go. Please, if you are not subscribed to this channel, consider doing so. And to let you know, I'm giving you a good news. And the good news is that I'm also making a complete and comprehensive fish farming course. That course is going to cover all that you need to set up till harvesting of your fish. It's going to be step-by-step videos, and that will also be held or hosted on Gumroad, and for a fee that one to you pay in rule. And I am telling you, it's going to be one of the best courses you can ever find online. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to this channel, share this video. See you in my next video. Bye.